Hey guys, welcome back to another video from me. This is for week 5 and this is for finding the length of the shortest lines using Pythagoras' theorem. So, the two examples I've got in the notes that you're going to work through are this one and then this one. So if we read the question properly, it says in each of the following, find the value of the pronumeral. So remember the pronumeral is the unknown or the letter. Alright, and in example B, round your answer to 2 decimal places. Okay, so if we look here, currently our unknown is A. So we know what C is and we know what B is. So from our video before and the knowledge we have, we need to use this equation. So we need to use A squared equals 7 squared take away B squared. Okay, and this is because we've got our longest side, the hypotenuse, and one shorter side, not both. So now, I've already got these labelled with their sides. So C is 17 and B is 15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go substitute those in. So I'm going to have 17 squared take away 15 squared. Okay, we'll keep with this. So keep this step by step until you really get the hang of it. So the first thing we do is we go 17 squared, which is 289. And then we do 15 squared, which is 225. Alright, now let's subtract those as we should. Now double check. We've got the biggest number, take away the smallest number, which we have, so we're good to go. So if we go 289, take away 225, we get 64. The last thing we need to do to get A is we need to square root 64. So if you use your calculator and square root 64, we get the answer of A being 8. So now to make sure I've actually done this right, I've got to check that my A is smaller than my C, and if it is, we are definitely good. And because my number is also a positive answer, we're also good. Alright, so you can't actually square root negative numbers. If you try, you'll actually get an error. So that's how you'll also know if you've gone wrong, is if your calculator starts giving you an error. So this gave us a nice whole number, which was good. So in this one, we're not going to get a nice whole number. It's not that nice. And this is why it asks us over here to round your answer to 2 decimal places. So we look at this and we've got 3 sides. So you got your A, B and C. Now if we look here, B is our unknown side this time. And it could also be A. It is up to you, but I'm going to do it as B so that you can see how it's used as well. So we're going to use the B squared equals C squared take away A squared. Okay, so it's really not different from the last one. We've just swapped the B and the A. And we'll get the same answer whether I say that's A or B. So now I'll substitute in my numbers. Alright, so we're going to have 10 squared, the biggest number, take away 7.6 squared, which is the smallest number. Alright, so evaluate those. So 10 squared is 100 and 7.6 squared is 57.76. Now I don't know that off my heart, I've just done it in a calculator. Alright, so now we do our subtraction. So we're going to have B squared equals, so if I go 100 take away 57.76, I get 42.24. Okay? So, the last thing we're going to do now is square root this. So we're going to have B equals square root of 42.24. Now I could leave this like this if I wanted it in exact form. But the question asks us to do it in 2 decimal places. So what we'll do now is put this into the calculator and find out what this is. So square root of 42.24 is 6.49923, and it keeps going on. Now we've got to do some rounding. So if I look here at my 2 numbers, so my number here is a 9, which means my rounding number goes up. So what we actually end up with is 6.50, and that is to 2 dp or 2 decimal places. And that is how we do this. If you have any questions, make sure to attend our webinar.